It's time for the final reveal. Join Molly as she finds out which finishes were selected and installed in the townhouse. Find out if your choices were winners and see how it all turns out. First, though, let's take a look back to see how Tom and Molly approached the project.
Tom and I have very different aesthetics. Tom is much more neutral, he was an architect by trade, so he loves a clean line and a very muted palette, and that's great. I am different. I am ebullient. Love lots of color. I love pattern, but to be fair, in this environment, I need to be able to rein that in too, because if I go completely crazy with all the color, it isn't necessarily going to appeal to the largest number of people.
My design style is more about highlighting the architectural elements of the space, and I like some colors, but mostly subdued. It's more tone on tone, shades of gray. I don't like to put a lot of bold colors and textures and patterns on things that are permanent in the space. I like to leave those things more neutral and then have colors come in accent pieces, whether it's art or fabrics and pillows and things like that. But I like to have kind of the bones be more neutral and not be something that you might get tired of in a couple of years. Hi, Molly.
Oh my God.
What do you think?
Oh my God. What a difference.
It looks good, huh?
It looks incredible. Oh my God, congratulations.
I think we're a good team.
I think we're a great team.
Come on in and have a look around.
I mean, it is just a complete game changer.
Do you remember the floors that were here before?
I do. I do. This is a big improvement in my opinion. I think this is a really sophisticated, simple, clean palette, but it allows for somebody to come in who wants to do a very neutral space, or somebody who wants to come in, as I would, and do loads of color.
Right.
And I think you can do either. I think it's remarkable.
Yeah, I think it's a really good basis for somebody to add their own personality. And now I really want to see what you think about the kitchen.
Me too. Oh, wow.
It's good, huh?
Wow, it's really good. This is beautiful. It makes sense. I mean, it's not, again, when we're talking about color, this isn't a ton of color. This has more color, so it's really a way of making this make sense.
Right.
And I think it really does.
Yeah.
And it really updates everything so much. It makes it feel so much more contemporary.
Right. And you know what I think makes a huge difference is the knobs and the pulls. They're like little jewels everywhere.
It's what I always say, it's the jewelry of the room is always the hardware. And that's the way that you can elevate a space easily, quickly, inexpensively.
Yeah. One of the other options we looked at for hardware was the egg shape.
Yes, I remember.
We didn't end up using that one.
No, we didn't.
Are you disappointed?
Okay, so for me personally, I think that the egg I would have liked it more. But again, this isn't my home, and this is meant to appeal to the largest amount of people, and these look terrific. I just think the eggs would have looked a little better.
Yeah, I like them a lot too,
But that's not what the viewers voted on.
we lost this one.
We lost.
Molly, I'm really eager to hear what you think of the finishes upstairs too.
I can say one thing for sure, the carpet is a major improvement.
It looks a little better, doesn't it?
Yes. This is incredible. I mean, it's so great because it really expands, again, it all stays in the same color family.
Yeah.
And it makes it all feel so expansive.
The two choices we looked at up here for carpet and paint were carpet that was more speckled, which I thought would probably hide dirt and wear a little bit better, and a darker railing that kind of picked out those darker speckles. And the second option was the one that we ended up going with, which had the lighter color that tied in more to downstairs, the floors, and the carpet that had a more luxurious look and feel.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't that my suggestion?
That was the one you liked the most, yes.
Yes. And that's what the public voted for, right? The viewers.
I guess you were right.
Look, I don't have anything to compare it to, so I'm not going to gloat, but I am going to say it looks terrific. It really does. It looks expansive, it looks elegant, it looks expensive. And I think that as far as upping your property value for selling this is a real game changer.
Before we wrap up the tour, I have one more surprise for Molly. We painted the cabinets white, and I think it really does make it look a lot more expansive.
Unbelievable.
And we got your eggs.
You got my eggs! Yes! They look great.
They really are great. And they have such a nice feel to them, too.
Yes, I know. I love. They're so tactile.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad they got in here somewhere.
Me too. Molly is really fun to work with. She's somebody who has no problem expressing her opinions, and I really appreciate that in the design process because it's really helpful to establish direction and then go from there. And I think she's just a great designer. She makes really interesting choices, things that I would never think of in a million years. So I think anything that we do together is more interesting, absolutely, than I could come up with on my own.
Tom and I have a very different design aesthetic, and but we work together wonderfully. I mean, if there's ever a problem, it's me, because I'm very opinionated and not afraid to share that opinion. And Tom is such a diplomat that I want to make sure I'm not steamrolling him. But the good thing about him is he's still waters run deep, and he's going to dig his heels in and fight for what he believes is the right thing. So I think that the end result is the best of both of us.
That wraps up our first season of Renovote. Thanks for helping choose fabulous choices for this renovation. The owners of the townhouse accepted an offer that was made the day after our first open house. We'll need your help again for our next renovation, so sign up on our website and subscribe to our YouTube channel to receive updates about our next season. Don't just watch the paint dry, make your vote count.